Let's have a bit of fun. I thought it'd be cool to do a prediction video. What do I think the general state of health will be like a decade from now? And where will Carnivore be relative to that? Now, the fun part of this will be in getting feedback from you. After you've heard my predictions, I'd love it if you could comment below. Let me know what you agree with, where you think I'm off, and what your predictions are. And while you're doing that, I'd really appreciate it if you could smash like and also subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, and I appreciate your support. So I think things are going to get much worse before they get better. I don't think we've hit the peak yet. I think we've got a long way to go. I think there is too much resistance to change. There's too many obstacles to change, like body positivity. I'm all for being positive about your body and everyone should be accepted, but there's a line that needs to be drawn between what is body positivity and what's downright dangerous. And the healthy at any size movement is going to be a big obstacle to change. No pun intended. But I think change is going to come. Governments, especially Western governments, are going to have financial imperatives that mean they need to act. At the moment, I don't think there's a big enough financial imperative for them to actually do anything about the obesity crisis. There's too many industries making money off diabetes and obesity and giving backhanders and lobbying government officials so that there's no reason to change the status quo. But at some point, there is going to be a tipping point. There's going to be a point where it gets too expensive to ignore. And when it gets to the point that it's too expensive and things can't be done and people are dying because they can't get medical attention, then governments are going to have to act. The spotlight is going to be put on governments and government officials to the point that they're going to have to do something. And at the outset, it will be piecemeal, but I think with enough pressure and enough spotlight on them, they are going to have to do something substantial. And that something can't just be a repeat of what they've been doing thus far. Because there's going to be a financial imperative, they are going to have to actually sit back, look and evaluate what mess they've got themselves into in the past. I think there's another thing to consider as well. Western governments are going to face a lot more competition in the coming years. As more and more emerging economies and countries like China become stiffer competition, countries such as the UK, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, the US, Canada, they are going to have to smarten up their act in order to be competitive. When you're spending all your money caring for a sick population, you cannot be competitive. And so from that perspective too, they're also going to have to change. And again, I think part of that change is going to be evaluating what they've said and recommended in the past and realizing that they're going to have to do basically the polar opposite. As we reach the end of the decade in this prediction, I think that carnivore is going to be more popular. In the last year, it's become super popular relative to the way it was. So I think it's only going to gain in popularity, but I don't think it's going to be part of the recommendations necessarily coming from government. However, I do think that at this point, saying you're on a carnivore diet is going to be basically the equivalent of saying you're on a keto diet now. And I think that more and more food companies will be trying to cash in on the carnivore diet where they can, making carnivore snacks and all this kind of thing. But I think they're going to be bleeding money. They'll be bleeding money from class action lawsuits and from additional taxes that are being levied on them by governments, and the public not buying their products as much as they were because the public is waking up. So, those are my kind of hodgepodge predictions about what's going to happen over the next decade. What do you think? What do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? And what are your predictions? I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments. Guys, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.